a chicken wing. There should be a fucking burger for it. There should be one. No, if you honestly want to know what I meant by that, I kind of feel bad. So I feel like it was my fault that shit happened to you.
Your fault?
Yeah, because I couldn't catch up to you because I got pulled over by fucking cops.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. So basically what happened is...
Like, I don't remember walking home from the beach, honestly. I remember being, like, in the morning at, like, 9 o'clock hanging out on the side of that fucking, like, little hill path thing.
So what exactly happened was we got maybe to the corner store on Roswell at that little, we stopped at the park up there because we were fucking exhausted. And then you and me got into an altercation because you were like, no, it's this way. And I was like, no, bro, it's this way. And then I turned around to take a piss, and you already, like, walked down this, like, just fucking vanished. I don't even know where the fuck you went, and then I started to try to find you, and then 2 minutes later, whoop, whoop, and the fucking cops pulled me over, thinking I was you, because you were yelling and shit, and made me do a breathalyzer and all that shit, and I was like, bro, I'm fucking sober. I'm not even having fun anymore. Like, I lost my buddy, who was like, I didn't say anything, who was like, inebriated.
Well, at least you didn't, I guess, say anything, because, I mean...
I was for the wall port, and I was in the fucking wall over there, so I could charge my phone.
Oh, it's fair.
Yay! I don't need this port, I just need this port.
Yeah, because, okay, so I was literally that fucking close home, and last second I went the opposite direction.
I don't know why you decided to go the opposite direction, but you did.
Well, I don't remember any of that part. Like, hold on.
Like, literally, we got into a fucking argument. Like, in the middle of the street. And I was like, bruh! I was like, you're a couple blocks away from your house.
I mean, like, fuck, dude, okay, like, I'm not going along with this shit anymore. Like, next time, like, I'm not honestly gonna go, like, in Portland like that again. Like, if any of you guys invite me to, like, a beach or some shit, I'm just immediately not going. Just immediately I'm out.
He's like, nah, I'm good.
I don't give a fuck. Like, unless somebody calls a ride or has a car or something, I refuse to fucking go. I'm not walking home after that bullshit again. I got stuck in fucking North Portland out of all places. Now, yeah, I wandered fucking Selwood and from, like, I don't know. And
I was like...
I got a hitchhiker, and I used that to get to 75. Took the wrong fucking bus anyway. Ended up in North Portland. I had to hitchhike back from there.
I know, I read your whole thing, and I was like, wait a minute. How the fuck? I was like reading it, and I was just like, what? How the fuck did that happen? You were pretty fucking gone. I wasn't expecting all of us to get that. I honestly, for that first half of that walk, you didn't seem that drunk.
I remember that part, like, as I was like, alright, let's, because we're all heading out, and we all did our thing, got out of there, and I kind of remember, before, like, because eventually Tyler split from us, right?
Yeah, we got up to fucking, the Goodwill.
Yeah, and then I remember that part, because I think I vaguely remember being like, hey, let's wait for, I think me and Tyler were waiting for you to catch up for half a second, and then he split.
Yeah, because I went off to take a fucking I went to the porta potty to take a shit.
Yeah, and then after that, like, beyond that, that's, like, where I don't remember shit anymore. Like, the last distinct thing I remember was with Tyler being like, all right, let's wait for Tyler. We're at this Goodwill, bro. And we were just, like, sitting here and just, like, looking back.
I went to the porta potty.
Yeah, that's why I looked back.
You were screaming at some rich dude's house, and Tyler's like, bruh, shut up!
I was, really?
Yeah, you were yelling at some rich dude's house like, fucking just like, fuck you, rich dude, you fucking assholes, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it must have been going on some anti-bourgeoisie rant or some shit. Hey.
You went on, like, so many goddamn tangent raids on the way home. I was just like, if you read, like, in the group chat, I'm just like, there's not enough drugs in the world to deal with drunk Suzuki. Like, there really fucking isn't.
Man, I must have been going...
You honestly, at one point, I was just like, oh my god, if I had like a chain and a fucking collar, I'd just chain him to a fucking pole.
Well,
I had later.
Well, to be fair, I had a collar on, so you could have just chained me somewhere. That probably would have been better. That would have been better for me, practically. I'm not even denying that. Oh my god.
You honestly got me like so fucking annoyed and pissed off when I finally lost you. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it.
I don't blame you.
I assumed you went down to the max and was gonna go to like Milwaukee and then go.
Oh, and somehow like maybe that's what was going on in my brain at the time. And I thought I was.
You tried like.
I probably thought I was still a Selwood or some shit because I tried.
We were at the fucking trail and you were trying to go down the stairs and I was like, where the fuck are you going? And you were like, Max, and I was like, no, we're like fucking not even that far away from your house. It'd be a waste of time to take the Max.
Okay, now things are starting to like come back a bit because now that you're starting to tell your perspective of things here, I'm starting to like realize like nothing really happened. It was just like
it was just you being a dumbass.
Dumbass like had too many and fucking. The problem is, though,
it's
all like...
on you. You had...
But the thing is, though, like, well, obviously, once I start walking, like, that just makes my brain shut off. Like, if I'm drunk enough. Like, my brain will just turn off then. Like, evidently, so I can't be trusted to just, like, you know, walk home. Like, I have to have a ride or some shit. Like, it'd have to be an instance where I have to have, like, you know, like an Uber or something, and you have to, like, here, I'm sorry, my buddy's a little
He's inebriated. Take his ass home. I don't want to deal with it. Okay, these guys better fucking show up.
Wait, you're selling something?
Yeah, I'm selling my Triumph.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, I'm trading it, but... Same dick.
Hey, where does Zukov go? There you are. Hanging out right there.
Right there?
Oh, hey, he came over here as soon as I said something. Man, what a goof. I certainly am, too. And the fuck crazy thing is, I've definitely have had excess drinking before in the past, and usually end up being fine, but, man, I get starting to get to a point where, with my age, even though I'm like 20, even though I'm 25, it's getting to a point where it's like, I can't do it like I used to no more. Well, if anything, I just need to be better prepared for it, if anything. Like, cause I know I had, like, food and some water that day and shit, but, you know, honestly, definitely not enough like I should have. And that's when it's not good. I mean, shit, now that I'm thinking about it, there's definitely been times where I've had, like, straight up, like, full-on, like, goddamn bottles of whiskey, wine, vodka and shit, so I'm just sitting here thinking, like, man, I just definitely need to, like, if anything, realistically, just, like, pre-game better, you know, when it comes to bullshit like that. But, hey, at least it gave me a little extra perspective about what was going on. Like, especially where the fuck... I was really that close to home, and my dumbass literally thought, it that way, not this way. And, like, are you serious? That's what happened. My dumbass brain literally was just like, no, home that way. Even though... Dude, hearing it, like, apparently from, like... me trying to get on the max to get back to... I try to go... I know what was going on in my brain at that point now, but... oh my god, was I an idiot. Holy shit. Ay. Whatever. I fuck do about now. But now that just makes me fucking think, like, could I have just accidentally dropped my shit in, like, some random fucking obscure part of the neighborhood around here? Yo, dude, that's now just making me realize, like, what if I accidentally just, like, left my shit in just, like, some random street in the neighborhood instead of where I thought I did?
I don't know, I'm taking a shit in your bathroom.
You and shits.
What?
You and your shits.
Yeah, I think my shit.
But, I don't know, fuck. Because if I was that close, then there's a chance that I probably, like... You know, it's been multiple days. There ain't no fucking way I'm gonna try to recover my shit. I don't know why I'm still having that mentality. Just gotta move forward and just, like, reorder everything. Because, fuck it. I mean, it's honestly less annoying than having to try to, like... Alright, let's look on the ground and see where everything is. And try to see if I can find shit that probably ain't even there anymore, so... still a bunch of bullshit. Either way, I don't even smell the bully out here. Aye. What you doing over there, doggo? What's up, boy? What you doing? What's up, doggo? Hey, bud. What you doing? Want some meat? And I want these meats. Ew. Here's one. Oh, man. It's a silly dog. Here, let me get this going too. Might as well also check out a couple things for it too. But I did see there was a few things I wanted to kind of look at. Because I know that there are going to at least be some interesting things to check out. But first, let's put on some tunes. I still find it funny. Apparently, I always go on some fat rants, you know, against the fucking shit like fucking rich people and shit. All my supers. At least you know I'm like, you know, a fucking like hardcore blue collar gumption type of fuck when it comes to like my rabble rousiness. You fucking rich people, piece of shit. I mean, I just wish I could fucking see that shit. As goddamn, son. You know, frankly, I've been like, you know, I could tell that must have been my theme of my mood from that night, because I do distinctively remember, like, after getting the extra set of drinks before we actually left and shit, before things started slowly but surely going south. Like, I was going on a rant all the way back to the beach and shit, like, looking at all these rich, yuppie, gentrified, like, little apartment complexes, where literally not even blocks away there are, like, fat fucking homeless camps and shit. And I'm just sitting here just like, of course, Andrew, it's like, you know, inebriated state, just like, yeah, fuck it. It's like, you're a piece of shit, you bougie fucks. It ain't entirely your fault, but this is the result. Fuck you. I mean, honestly, all things considered, I mean, like, the result of, like, a lot of Portland's problems is due to gentrification and a lot of rich elites, like, a lot of rich elite NIMBYism that, you know, just totally outprices and just fucking prices out everybody who initially was living in these areas and forces them out. And it is bullshit. It's just a fundamental, you know, core problem of, like, what, you know, like, our entire capitalistic system is about, and of course Portland especially, considering how neoliberal it is. Oh, here. Come on, show up. Yo.
Fucking people, man. These fuckers better show up.
What are they saying? They're running late or something?
No, I haven't heard anything.
No.
I also can't remember if I said 2:30 exact, or I said like 2:30 to 3.
Probably 2:30 to 3 if I... So, like, I mean, honestly, it's good to at least try to be within a time frame more so than, like, an exact time, but that's just me.
I talked to the dude over the phone, and he seems like they wanted the motorcycle. No cost move.
Oh, don't just make a move like that. There we go. Alright, get this first little bullet load up. It's probably going to destroy my brain. Well, not destroy it, but make you feel all nice and fuzzy and tingly. That's what I want. I want the tingliness. Ah, Dios mío. Dios mío. Let's see what's going on for news for today. Let's see. Something about the Justice Dems, huh? I have not heard Justice Democrats as a name in a long fucking time. Well, they actually, like, frankly, I thought they fucking capitulated. I thought Justice Democrats, like, kind of like failed and folded into the rest of the party. I haven't heard their name in years. I mean, especially after Justice Democrats, like, kicked out Jane and Kyle Kulinski over, frankly, bullshit reasons. And also just basically being capitulative towards the Democratic Party. I mean, Justice Democrats aren't even, like, you know, much of a, like, valid challenge towards the Democratic Party anymore. So the idea of them actually having, like, somewhat of a name again is a little shocking to me. Usually, Justice Dem's pretty much been capitulative since, what, like 2018, 2019? Just essentially folded into the rest of the Progressive Caucus, which is barely progressive. Let's see what little implementations of changes they delved into here. Because I imagine it has to be at least somewhat good. Maybe. I'd hope. Super, super sweet. Well, definitely tangy. Definitely holds up to the name, Tang Breath. Tangy as fuck. there's also another thing. Another thing about George Santos. Oh, they're both David Dolt clips, too. We'll check out some David Dolt Day. Don't give him much love. We always give Mike Figueredo the love. Gotta give our Canadians some love, too. That tune's over.
Progressive group Justice Democrats, which of course helped to elect AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, among many others in Congress, have
years ago, should emphasize.
4-day work week for their employees. Practicing what they preach.
So wait, what do they do?
Have now officially moved to a 4-day work week for their employees. Practicing what...
So is that what they did? So basically just for their staffers? Is that okay? So this is the news. Seriously, wait, is this like the whole clip? Basically, it's just that. It's like so they implemented a 4-day work week for their employees, like the people that work for them. For like the people that work for AOC, Elon, etc. Like so they get 4-day work weeks. Okay, which is good, nice, sweet. But shouldn't that be like across the board? Like, can't they? Like, I mean, isn't this trying to be pushed in the House as well? Like, I mean, they could also be, like, just as even more adamantly vocal about it, in that sense.
Bernie Sanders talking about a 4-day work week, so we decided to try it for ourselves. We're fighting for a world where everyone can enjoy a 3-day weekend without having to worry about their next paycheck. So as I'll get to here, this benefits not even just the workers, but also the bosses. It benefits the capitalists and the workers.
Well, of course. I mean, this just kind of goes broadly into the whole 4-day work week issue in general. I mean, this is, a lot better for everybody. So we went across the board. Like, as it's already been, quote-unquote, means tested, quote-unquote, in different countries outright and in different places just overall and with overwhelming success. Because it's either like productivity stays pretty much exactly the same, or it actually does increases a bit over time due to the fact that people feel like they got more time to themselves and they feel like they have more free time and less and like more ability to kind of rejuvenate and kind of recoup from from a shorter work week too, and they're not beating themselves up like emotionally, mentally, or physically doing the job. So I mean, either way. Like, it is good, but, it's just, showing more and more that, that this type of pressure for a 4-day work week is growing, and it's starting to become a lot more of a, successful push, for people to try to advocate for.
There is no downside for anybody here. Yet still, there is a heated debate on whether or not this should be implemented, and of course the right wing are very anti 4-day work week, even though it would benefit them.
Got to make sure people do not have as much time as many times as possible for themselves, because if so, then they might be able to get a leg up in society. They might be able to do more besides just be a worker drone. We can't allow that.
So more here from The Guardian, as they write, although few American companies have adopted a 4-day working week, the idea is not novel. France has mandated a 35-hour work week since 2000. And some French politicians have called for lowering that threshold to 32 hours. Iceland has also seen success in its trials of a 4-day, 35-hour working week. In comparison, Americans work an average of 43.1 hours per week, according to a 2022 Gallup survey. Critics fear that the shift to a 32-hour work week could increase employers' labor costs and further decrease employee productivity.
Which both of that is utter bullshit.
At a time when American workers' output has slumped. Data compiled by the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows U.S. productivity declined for 3 straight quarters last year, although labor output has still increased by nearly 500% overall since 1947.
Which basically just essentially kind of means that, despite the fact that, the complaint of, oh, productivity's been down the last couple quarterlies, it's still technically been higher than, well, especially since fucking 47, 500% since then. But also, which at least just inherently implies that, it's, productivity's, never been, higher for, for a long time. Just because it's just down a couple quarterlies and shit does not mean that, there's, our shit's all slumped. And the main reason why is just because corporations just are purposely doing this as a way to just price gouge and fucking trying to maximize their own fucking profits, because at the end of the day they don't give a shit. like they, to them, it's not about like what maximizes benefit for everybody. It's what maximizes benefit for them and them alone.
So I appreciate what the Guardian does.
If the work week to 4 days, if we change the work week to 4 days, we'll need to revert to 12-hour shifts, offset the extra days off. No, you wouldn't. Like, you wouldn't have to. It's, and even like, let's say hypothetically that is the case, or you might have to have like an extra hour or something like that for like a work day or some shit. I mean, to have a 4-day work week in comparison to a 5-day work week is still better. Like, even let's say you went from like, 8 5-hour days to like 9, oh god, Jesus Christ, well, man, like, like 5 8-hour days versus like 4 9-hour days. I mean, even though you have like an extra hour from those 4 days, I mean, that would still be a better outcome and still be better productivity wise in comparison to a 5-day work week, because you still have that extra day off. Like, you still have that time to rejuvenate and recoup. Like, because overall, a 3-day weekend just broadly, fucking is better in comparison to, to not.
They're giving you both sides, right? But they're also giving you context. So, it's just funny to me that the other side of this argument as well, it declined, productivity declined for 3 straight quarters. Not even like years, just parts of a year. 3 straight quarters of a year. And within that context as well, overall, output has increased by 500% since 1947. So to show you that in from the Economic Policy Institute here in their data,
It just immediately muted. What the hell? What the fuck? Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. There we go.
Economic Policy Institute
Okay.
here in their data.
What the? What? What the? What? What the fuck? Really? Oi!
Productivity.
There we go. Gee, what the fuck was that about? Jesus.
From the Economic Policy Institute here in their data, the gap between productivity and a typical worker's compensation has increased dramatically since 1979. So you can see how productivity here can...
Really? Is it like somehow connected for these? No, these are off. They are. What the hell? They are connected to these somehow. What the fuck? Dude, are you serious? Alright, hold on. What the fuck? How in the hell are they connected to those? Yeah, seriously. Fuck you.
1980. And, I mean, this shows you that Americans could use a giant dip in productivity and still not match where wages currently are. So the idea that it slumped a little bit for 3 quarters, I mean, it probably wouldn't even be noticeable on this graph.
It wouldn't, honestly. I mean, 3 quarterly cycles isn't even 1 fiscal year. So, like, it would not even be noticeable on that fucking graph, considering that it consistently is still going up regardless of fucking, wages and shit, because that's fundamentally broadly the problem with the overall issue here. It's like, it's not that, like, it's not like, productivity's somehow gone down and, adding more free time for people and increasing their wages somehow going to make that worse. It would make it fundamentally fucking better. Like, I mean, that's the whole point. Like, it would be a win-win across the board, but they just don't want to, but they want to make sure that those quarterlies are as maximized as much as possible for the last one. That's why, like, the last 3 quarterlies was, such a weird fucking emphasis, because that's what they care about. They care about maximizing every quarterly cycle, not every, other factor and shit. Like, this is literally the only thing that they have to worry about is just,
again,
fiscal quarterlies.
As I'll get to, this is still, a 4-day work week still benefits employers as well. So this from The Guardian again, quote, "I'm highly productive during my work hours, and honestly, I procrastinate less," said Becca Rast, a managing director at Justice Democrats. "It allows me to have a tighter, more focused work schedule, which I really thrive under." Trial studies of companies with 32-hour working weeks have shown similar results. One pilot program launched in the UK last year found that employees who worked fewer hours per week reported higher levels of job satisfaction, while 23 participating companies witnessed an average revenue increase. Yes, a revenue increase of
Wow, go figure.
1.4%. When the program concluded, 56 out of 61 organizations said they would keep the policy in place, at least temporarily. So before I even finish off this piece, when you have the companies themselves saying this was so successful that we are going to keep it, the vast majority of them continuing a 4-day work week, this proves that this did not hurt them.
It helped. It literally did help, even if so, as ever so incrementally. Like, I mean, it's something that is overall a win across the board. Like, it's just that whenever it comes to the quarterly fiscal years of shit, they just can't fathom that potentially be down, even if, like, overall, like, over the, years of them, adopting this type of policy, something that actually increases their broader revenue and shit over the, couple of years of them trying this out. Like, they just hate the fact that instead of a 1.4 increase of profits, it's not like 5. It's like, that's the big problem. It's like, oh my god, it's not 5% increase from last year. No!
Because what? They're in control here. These aren't, worker co-ops. These are companies saying we will continue only making our employees come in 4 days a week because this was successful for us. Again, what's the downside? And in fact, there's on average a revenue increase. So there's either, no difference at all, which seems to be the case in the plurality of cases. But if there is a change, for most, it has been an increase in revenue.
As far as I'm aware, I don't even think there's been any information about, like, 4-day work weeks and shit like that has shown negative downsides to anything. Like, I really honestly don't think there has been. Like, everything that, when it comes to the data and research about these, about these things is always, in the positive. It's always like, yeah, it's either, like, at worst, it's basically just, like, staying relatively the same, or it actually gets better and increases.
We're talking increased job satisfaction, reduced stress levels, reduced burnout, people having more time for themselves and their family, and on top of that, increased revenue for these organizations. Now, as they write here, the reduced stress levels among those with shorter working weeks can also help reduce employee burnout and turnover, ultimately making companies more productive in the long run. The UK pilot program found that 39% of employees with reduced working hours reported feeling less stressed, and 71% said they had reduced levels of burnout by the end of the trial. This is just...
Wow, so that is, like, some very significant information, which, go figure, I'm not really too surprised with. Like, because honestly, there's definitely a lot less, burnout with shorter work weeks in comparison to longer ones. Like, I mean, shit, I've worked 6-day work weeks. I did one not that long ago. I mean, and that shit burns you out way more so than just a regular 5-day work week. And I've had times where I've done 4-day work weeks and shit, and those definitely don't burn me out nowhere near as much. And also, when it comes to stress and shit, it's nowhere near as high. It's not as, like, a higher level in comparison.
Win, win, win. There is no downside to this at all. Again, it's reminding me of many issues where all the science, all the data supports it, and it benefits everyone. And still, it takes a long time for society to adjust. Now, from the Bernie Sanders piece here, quote, "It's time to reduce the work week to 32 hours with no loss in pay," Sanders wrote in a Guardian op-ed earlier this month. "It's time to reduce the stress level in our country and allow Americans to enjoy a better quality of life. It's time to make sure that working people benefit from rapidly increasing technology, not just large corporations that are already doing phenomenally well." So there is this idea, at the start of the tech boom, that all of this technology would benefit workers because it would take the stress off the workers. They wouldn't have to work as many hours, and they would hopefully still make the same amount of money. Of course, that didn't happen. I mean, they still made the same amount of money, as in their wage didn't increase, but their productivity increased. they had to work longer hours. So this is a way to offset what has happened, or at least help offset a little bit what has happened over the last 30 years with the massive gap between productivity and wages.
Yeah, this type of stuff will definitely help, when it comes to, the offset, because this will help, bring a lot of that productivity and wages, back into more of a balance over time. Because also, like, people will start getting more of an increasement of their wages too by proxy of these type of things as well. And, and overall, like, it's just, like, again, just a win-win across the board. Like, I don't think there's any information that comes from 4-day work weeks and shit that shows, any negative outcomes.
Now, as was referenced earlier, Iceland also did a pilot program. This was over 4 years, and it was overwhelmingly an overwhelming success. And as I referenced earlier as well, the UK did it, showing it improves health, finances, and relationships. It simply makes you happy. And a chart here from
Go figure.
the UK data.
I also noticed this little thing. It's just like a 4-day work week improves health, finances, and relationships. It's just like these type of things, like when it comes to, various aspects like, loneliness or the ability of not really being able to afford things. Like, 4-day work week helps improve the ability to, like, have financial stability and an ability to have stable relationships. Like, having a 4-day work week would legit be more beneficial to helping out with, those type of problems as well.
Relationships, it simply makes you happy. And a chart here from the UK data shows that how smooth the transition was and how happy these companies were. So in terms of how smooth the transition was to a 4-day work week, the vast majority say either smooth or extremely smooth. How did it affect business productivity? The majority say it was either neutral or improved productivity.
Or it said significantly improved for some people.
How likely is that you will implement the 4-day work week? 86%. Again, these are companies being surveyed, not the workers. The companies were happy with the results. There was no downside for anybody here. Just do it. Like, this really.
Just do a 4-day work week. It's not that hard. So, look, free time. Yeah, but you are being a doomer and defeatist about everything. Notice that I ain't responding to that type of shit because it doesn't actually, like, pertain to anything, like, valid to this type of, like, conversation and shit. Besides just, like, this doesn't affect me, or it's like, I'm glad that I don't have to work and shit. Well, it's like, well, good for you, dude. Like, this doesn't, then, like, what does this pertain to you then? Like, I mean, this is an issue that, like, benefits, even for yourself, too. But, like, how you're supposed to know that if, you literally just, like, turn it away?
Honestly, though, it would have to be done in a way where, there's a rollout. You can't just, flip a switch and make everyone on one day all of a sudden work 4 days. There has to be a planning stage to do something like that. But whether it's through policy, whether it's through these companies themselves deciding to do what is right and what's going to also benefit them, this is something that every single company should look at. Especially if you're like in a small business. I mean, if you see this video, maybe send this to your boss. Send this data, send this video, like.
Oh, I wish the boss would actually fucking listen to shit like that, but they wouldn't. They're a little optimistic about that one. Like, a boss wouldn't give a shit about this, frankly. I mean, they're just like, well, that's nice. Anyway, get back to work there, buddy. Like, that's what they're going to think. They're the boss. They only care about their short-term quarterly profits. And that's really kind of the core issue, is that companies and capital fundamentally cares about that foremost, over anything else. It's why they don't, consider other aspects that might legitimately help increase their productivity and help increase, satisfaction within a workplace too. So, that type of productivity can be more likely maximized, which also includes wage increasement and also maybe balancing out the workday, and having a better work week balance. Because those type of things, are what helps uplift fucking everybody and shit. I mean, it's just like having an idea of just like, to try to get away from the total, like, bustle grind and shit. I mean, this is a part of how to do so. I mean, you can't just like immediately, like, just roll over and just like, give up with it. Because I mean, that's not how, like, because I mean, that's just not how, like, you know, things get changed or things get done. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, pushing for this type of fucking shit, and advocating for it, you know, is, you know, like, far more of a better outcome. Here, well, let's check out that other little David video. Check out what absurd little things are going on with Santos. Like, Terry reviews bizarre recordings.
I went from 2019 bringing in $400 and something thousand to in 2020 my reported income was 55K. It couldn't be more legitimate.
I have a buddy who was trying to do a movie with George Santos, and actually met with him a few times.
What?
And he was going to do he was trying to get George Santos to agree to do the documentary. I don't know if you saw on MSNBC yesterday. Ari Melber had on Blake Zeff, who is my buddy in question, and they released some of the recordings because Blake was recording his conversations with George Santos. And it's really good. You should check out some of these recordings. I don't even think he released them all. This guy, one of the recordings they released was him like mocking his Jewish constituents. Another one, I don't know if they released this one, but
oh my God! So George Santos was caught doing that. Jesus Christ! Wasn't he also, like, didn't he literally lie about having, like Jewish ancestry and shit, too, that, like, survived World War II or some shit, too? Oh, my God, this guy is a fucking fruit.
With an impression, yes.
Holy shit.
I don't know if they released this one yet, but I've actually had to keep quiet on this for a while. I've known about this for a couple of months. And one of them is, I don't know if this one was released yet, but one of them is George Santos really thought that this was going to happen. Like, he really thought nothing was going to happen to him. That he was already talking about running for president and everything. Like, he thought this was smooth sailings. And he was just going to become a big like, political star and everything.
Is he
listen
divorced from reality? Oh my
God, knowing that type of shit? Okay, like, dude, this dude is legit, like, that much of a hardcore, unhinged, pathological, egotistical liar, dude. Oh my God.
A lot of Jews, you're it's funny when the isms start coming out, right? Oh, he's such a man, she's such a man child, and then they go on to the next thing, and it's like, oh, that's the point, and I think it's really bad. But anyway.
What the fuck is he talking about? I don't even...
I don't, like, what in the fuck is he even ranting off about with that? Like, what the hell? You're fucked? So, like, is that, like, some, like, quip about, like, anti-Semitism, I'm assuming? It's funny when is this I'm guessing so. I think I don't even know what he's trying to get at with it. Like, what the fuck?
Offended. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Is he trying to, like, be defensive of anti-Semitism or in favor? What?
I guess you gotta read it.
I have to understand.
It sounds like he's making fun of his Jewish supporters, is what I'm getting from this.
As well as his imaginary Jewish heritage, by the way.
I know people who are not even funny with their prejudice. Like, I don't even get the joke. Like, I feel like it's
There's another one. Oh, wait, 1 second.
The most amazing thing, though, about this whole thing is that the documentary was never going to happen because every time Blake tried to meet with him to convince him to do this documentary, George Santos would say, you know, I got to figure out if I did agree to this, I need to figure out a way to get paid without any red flags, and he told Blake that he expected
without any red flags
too. He expected he'd be paid millions of dollars for this documentary. And when Blake was like, I don't pay, he was like, well, I'm gonna hold out for Netflix. Then they're gonna give me millions, I bet.
Oh my God.
Oh my fucking God, dude, really?
God, this guy.
Dude, wow, the audacity of this motherfucker, bro. Like, the more that comes out about this son of a bitch, like, the more just audacious he just really makes it out to be.
Give him a big fucking bag. He's absolutely fucking correct, and he will. And he fucking will. I'll raise the money. I want to see that movie, okay? What are you talking about? Yes, they will.
So this
I'd love to see it, honestly.
Oh yeah, so apparently one of the I think this is part of the indictment that he qualified, or he tried to qualify for unemployment when he doesn't actually qualify for it. But I guess he's been discussing this.
So the way I look at it is, You're not understanding. The question is simple. George, why was your income 55,000 in 2020, and why is your income drastically higher? Well, here's the answer to that. We struck a deal with the company so nobody went unemployed and got reduced to like a very basic salary, just so as we called it, livable wages in the company. So we can get by, because our industry was capital introduction via vis-a-vis conferences, vis-a-vis speed dating, all that in private equity, and managing limited partner, general partner relationships and investment groups. So, long story short, I went from 2019 bringing in 400 and something thousand dollars to, in 2020 my reported income was 55K. It couldn't be more legitimate. I actually qualified for unemployment.
Quote.
I actually
for unemployment.
I actually qualify for unemployment, even though I'm making like a fucking multi-K salary and shit. Yeah. Like, bruh, dude, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
Does he know he's being recorded? Like.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he must have. Like, he knows that, like, there's just no way to, like, be able to, like, especially on a level that he's on, be able to just, like, say shit like that without the possibility of it maybe getting leaked.
$24,000 on unemployment. It is just genuinely insane. For months, he was saying, because every single week, like, if you've ever been on unemployment, you have to say, yes, I'm still eligible, I'm looking for work. Like in Oregon, we have like certain requirements. We've got to look for work. Every single week he lied. Like it's genuinely astounding that this man thought that he was like going to go on to be president and like have this huge political career. I mean, when you look at the climate and you see figures like Donald Trump and whatnot, maybe he had a reason to believe that. But I mean, still, like, bring it down. Come back to reality. Like, this is ridiculous.
I don't know how you keep track of them all, honestly, when it comes to him. And I'm like, half the shit that he's that he's claiming that he's done in his life, like, if I had just one of those monstrous lies, like, my mom died on 9/11. No, she didn't. I have Ukrainian Jewish heritage. No, you don't. I was the producer of the Spider-Man musical. No, you weren't. Right? Like, just one of those.
Wait, did he say that too?
I wouldn't feel confident.
Oh my God, wow.
Like, where I could get questioned about it,
Yeah. Oh, didn't he say he created carbon capture also?
Yeah, he did claim that.
Did he?
He did. Of course.
Like, what lie has he not said yet? Like, this guy's probably said, like, I don't even know how many fucking lies when it comes to this type of shit, dude. I mean, like, bruh.
Well, someone had to. Come on, someone had to.
So, this is another one.
What are they entertaining, kind of like monetarily? Look, I don't have a number in my head. Like, the fact that I'm having these are conversations I never in a million years thought I'd be having. But when in Rome, let's have the conversation.
What the fuck? Dude, he sounds such like a little fucking sassy, egotistical, like, just so full of himself, a little prissy bitch, too. It's like, well, when in Rome, I'm a Kenneth. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, holy fuck, dude. Like, such a solipsist. Like, I'm pretty sure he literally thinks the universe revolves around him and him alone. Like, I have a very strong feeling that he feels that way.
Recycle, so over the last 6 years, so from 18 to now, a lot has changed. Yet this committee has allowed so many things, and it's been bipartisan and across the aisle. So I think, this is a different time in Congress where they're understanding that this is just going to be a new way of doing things. What are they in?
This is just this guy.
Yeah. It's
Damn. He's just like, well, this is just how things go and stuff, so when in Rome, might as well just go all out, baby. This dude is just, like, that guy is just such an absurd freak, bro. Like, wow. I'm so glad that he at least has some indictments going on and shit, but, man, what's fucked is that you ain't really gonna be seeing too much, fucking punishment or recompense over any of it. Like, but man, what a brazen motherfucker. Like, literal oil extract of just, like, everything that is the embodiment of corruption. Just the oil extract of everything wrong with the fucking system, dude. Like, ugh. What a goon. What a weaselly little goon, dude. Like, ugh. Ay. But, I'm gonna get this lovely little bowl smoked up and off to work and all that fun shit. So anyway, peace out. Of course, be back.